The NFL is returning this Thursday as we kick off the NFL season with the Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to go through every game that we're going to see this week, and I'm just excited to see NFL football back. This is what it's all about. This is my favorite sport. This is what I grew up playing, was football. Let's get started. Cowboys, Buccaneers. Who's going to win? Obviously, I think it's going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers unless Dak Prescott does something magical. But Tampa Bay has the best defense in the NFL currently, and they just came off the Super Bowl. Yeah, there's a concept of the Super Bowl hangover, but Tom Brady has won 7. He's a leader of men. There's no way the Buccaneers lose this game week 1, especially at home on Thursday night. Then we got the Seahawks versus the Colts. I'm taking the Seahawks. The reason being, Russell Wilson is a great player. The Colts have a ton of injuries, especially with Carson Wentz. He did get hurt. We don't know what's happening there. We don't know how Indianapolis is going to be able to hold up. They have a very good offensive line. Jonathan Taylor's a stud, the running back from Wisconsin. He was a rookie last year, ran for over 1,000 yards. Pretty much carried the offense to the playoffs just off of his running game. They also have a very solid defense, but that quarterback position is a very big question mark. Questions will be answered with the Colts this season. Give them the first 4 weeks. Carson Wentz is able to do big things, be that Philadelphia Eagles Carson Wentz he was when he was an MVP candidate. This team can go very far, but if he's not, it's going to be a sinking ship. Next, we got the Texans and Jaguars. 2 very bad teams. Deshaun Watson is not playing. They have benched him. Tyrod Taylor is going to start for the Houston Texans. This game is going to be in Houston, playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just got Trevor Lawrence. But Jaguars had the number 1 overall pick for a reason. They're not a good team at all. Like, they don't have the talent. The offensive line is rough. Trevor Lawrence is going to get hit. I just hope nothing too bad like an Andrew Luck situation occurs to him, because he is a very talented quarterback. But I'm going to give this to the Texans just because they are at home. They have a slightly better talent-wise team. But yeah, it's going to be a long season for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. They're going to probably have a top 5 pick just because they don't have the talent on the offensive line or the defense. Next, we got the Eagles and Falcons. The Eagles, I don't know how I feel about the Eagles this year, to be honest. Jalen Hurts is a big question mark. We did see Jalen Hurts last year. He did play very well in the games that he played. However, we only saw him for about half a season, so we don't know what he can do for a long period of time. While we got the Falcons, who are just a struggling team. They lost Julio Jones. They got a super stud in Calvin Ridley. This game is going to be in Atlanta, so I think I'm going to take Atlanta for this one, just based off that fact. Home field means a lot in the NFL, and yeah, that's why I got to take the Falcons for that one. Next, we got the Chargers versus the Washington football team. Washington football team is a top tier defense. That is a top 3 defense. That defensive line has so many first round picks on it. They are going to be sack city over there in Washington. But they're playing against Chargers and Air Bear Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is very talented at the quarterback position. They have great talent at the receiver position, and they did shore up that offensive line a bit. That defense, we're going to see Derwin James come back, so he's going to help shore that up. But their corners are kind of suspect. But then the Washington football team doesn't really have a quarterback to really attack that weakness. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers for this one. Next, I think the best 10 a.m. game is this one right here. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. 2 great teams, 2 contenders for their division. I mean, honestly, Bills are going to win their division. They're the favorite in the AFC East. Josh Allen is coming off an MVP type season, and it's the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs, come on now. Stephon Diggs is easily putting himself in the top 5 wide receiver position. Playing out against Pittsburgh Steelers, we don't know how Ben Roethlisberger is going to be. We don't know his commitment to football. He has come back for this season, but there were big question marks in the offseason debating whether or not he would come back. But we got to take Buffalo for this one easily, because Buffalo Bills, it's going to be very, very hard to beat that team, especially in Buffalo. Next, you got the 49ers and the Lions. Lions got Jared Goff. We're going to be able to see big things with Jared Goff. We have to see if he can be a long-term quarterback in the NFL, or if most of his success came off the Sean McVay system. It's going to be big. Playing off against the 49ers. 49ers get a lot of their injured players back. For example, Nick Bosa missed last year. They also have a stud middle linebacker in Fred Warner. So it's going to be a tough defensive task, a tough defense to play against for Jared Goff in his first game. I'm going to give this one to the 49ers because they have a good run game. I don't know how Jimmy G is going to do. I don't even think Jimmy G is going to last the entire season, to be honest. But I'll give this one to the 49ers. Just don't like the Lions very much as a team. They're all right, you know? After that, we got the Vikings versus the Bengals. This one, I'm giving it to the Vikings. The reason being, the Bengals have Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's coming off a torn ACL. That's very hard to deal with. And he's going into a sophomore season. So defenses are going to change. Defenses are going to adapt to the little bit of film he had. I think he played, 6 games last year before he tore his ACL? The Vikings also have Dalvin Cook, who is either one or two. I don't know where you put him. One or two as a running back in the NFL. Number one, I would give it to Derrick Henry. Honestly, Christian McCaffrey, yes, Christian McCaffrey is great, but he does have injury concerns after last year. The Vikings offense also has Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen. It's a very good offense, a very, very good offense. They did get Patrick Peterson, who adds another weapon on the corner position, which was suspect for them last year. Harrison Smith is playing safety. It's a good team, the Vikings. I want to see what they can do. I think they're going to be like a 9-10 win team. Jets Panthers is rough. This is not a game I want to watch, honestly. This game might end in a tie, because both teams really don't know what they're doing. Both teams don't really have a quarterback yet. Of course, the Jets have, I believe, Zach Wilson is lined up to become their guy for the future. But at this point, they're both very bad teams. I'm going to take the Panthers just because the Panthers are at home. Next, we got the Cardinals versus the Titans. You got to take the Titans here. I mean, the Titans offense is one of the most potent offenses in the NFL, right behind the Kansas City Chiefs. If we just look at it on paper, Julio Jones, AJ Brown, two big-time wide receivers. Ryan Tannehill has been very efficient as a Titans quarterback. Ever since he left Miami, he has become a much better quarterback. Derrick Henry is the big 6'2", 250-pound menace of a running back who runs a 4.5 right behind him. That offensive line is stacked. That defense with Kevin Byard and some other big names that I can't remember off the top of my head at this moment because I'm tripping. I mean, you can't beat the Titans. Titans are favored to win the AFC South. I think the Titans are going to go to either the division or the AFC Championship. It's a very, very good team, and I'm excited to see it. Next, starting the 125 hour, we got the Browns versus Chiefs. Big game. Browns are a very good team. Browns have, a top defense. Sack City down there in that defensive line, especially with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett might hit up to like 15, 16 sacks this year. Baker Mayfield, Odell, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb. Again, another great offense. They really put it together last year getting to the divisional round. Are they going to be able to take another step forward? It really all hinders upon Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had flashes of greatness last season, but can he take that next step forward in his progression? Facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are my favorite to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC with, Patrick Mahomes. There's no quarterback better than Patrick Mahomes in the NFL right now. Yes, there's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, but Patrick Mahomes makes some throws that are just absolutely incredible. Of course, he has a ton of talent around him with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, but hey, you can't knock a guy for having talent around him, and he makes the most of that talent. Next, you have the Dolphins versus the Patriots. I'm actually pretty excited to watch this game because the Patriots are going to start Mac Jones over Cam Newton, who they cut just 1 week ago. I want to see what Mac Jones can do against a first-string defense in the NFL, because he did play very well in the preseason, but he did not play against first-stringers. So, how is he going to be able to perform against the Dolphins? Tua Tagovailoa, he needs to settle down. He needs to figure it out now, because this season, I think, is going to be make or break for Tua. If Tua can't figure it out, it's probably going to be curtains for him as a starter for now. Definitely in the Miami organization. Next, you have the Giants and Broncos. Broncos don't have a quarterback. Giants have Danny Dimes, and Saquon Barkley is coming back from injury. I believe he was scheduled to be ready for week 1. I'm going to take the Jets, partially because this is in New York. But yeah, no, I don't see the Broncos winning this game. I'm trying to think of a way they win this game, but they just don't have it. They don't have the offense. They can't score. Packers versus Saints. This game is going to be played in Florida because, of course, the tragedy of Hurricane Ida occurred in the southeast of the United States. I'm going to give this one to the Packers. The Packers have a lot to prove. Packers feel like they're a Super Bowl team. Aaron Rodgers coming back with a vengeance. Aaron Rodgers feels like he was kind of embarrassed by the fact that the Packers did not really listen to him. Of course, now they are, apparently, supposedly. But he feels like being a guy who has been at the top of the mountain for so long that he deserves more of a say. And he wants to go out there and win a Super Bowl just to shush all the doubters consistently. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to the Packers. It's gonna be hard for the Saints. I mean, Jameis Winston, I have a lot of faith in him, especially under the Sean Payton system. I want to see what Jameis Winston could do. Is this first 40-40 season we're gonna see in the NFL? Next, you got the Bears and the Rams. I'm giving this one to the Rams. This one's going to be in LA. It's Sunday Night Football. The Rams are a very good team. They got Matthew Stafford, so a bigger arm at quarterback. Will he be able to really show off all that talent he had, being a former #1 overall pick, who a lot of people say his career was wasted in Detroit? We'll find out. Lastly, Monday night, we got Baltimore versus the Raiders. First regular season game at Allegiant Stadium. I'm going to go ahead and go with Baltimore because Baltimore is a run-heavy team. The Raiders defense can't stop anything from ever happening to them. They're not a very good defense. I'm going to take the Ravens on this one. They're going to run for about 200 yards. Yeah, that's going to be week 1 of the NFL season. Let me know what you guys think. You guys disagree with some of the picks I made. But, yeah, that's it.